Well, welcome back to the Bible Reading Challenge podcast. My name is Aaron Ventura, and in this episode, I want to give you an end of the year update and a little preview of what you can expect in 2022. Now, you may have noticed that it's been a few weeks since I put out a new episode, and there are a few reasons for that. I've got lots of excuses. I was very sick for about 6 weeks, and that prevented me from being able to put in the time to write and record something new. I could not speak well enough to be able to record, but thankfully I am feeling much better now. The other reason is that I have been working on a new website to actually house all of my podcast manuscripts, sermons, other articles that I've done, etc. So I've built a little digital library where you will now be able to read in what I think is a much nicer and even more edited form the content that you are getting in these episodes, although I won't put up a manuscript of this one. But so going through Revelation, going through various question and answers that we've done. So I've been going through my archives, editing them, updating them, and then putting them into an article format so that you can read it and share it. And also there's like a table of contents with each article. So you can, I think, very easily find stuff. So not everyone is a podcast person, but some people prefer reading that content instead. So now you can actually read that written and more polished version of whatever I record for the podcast on this new website. And not only that, I'm also putting on this website a bunch of historic Christian documents. So the ancient creeds, our Protestant Reformed confessions, catechisms, even some probably free little ebooks and stuff up there, things that you can access for free in what I think is a really pleasant to read as far as online goes format. So that website is live right now. I am continuing to add stuff to it almost every day. So it's going to continue to change in the coming weeks. But the website address is localchristendom.com. localchristendom.com, and I will be adding a lot more content to it over the coming weeks and months. There's also a monthly newsletter that will go out, and that will be the new kind of home for my Bible Reading Challenge podcast manuscripts. You can always go to the Bible Reading Challenge website, and you can see we've made a few playlists for you of the podcast. So we did a summary overview of every single book in the Bible. So those are still up there if you want to go back and re-listen to those. I do plan on recording and actually putting into written form a new version of each of those, but that's going to be a year-long or more project for me to do. But the goal is to put everything in written form so that you can access it in future years to come when you read through the Bible again and again. Now, if you go to my website, localchristendom.com, and on the front page, if you scroll down, there is now a message box, which I would like you to use instead of the Bible reading, or instead of the form or just emailing me directly. You can still use those other things, but it's just easier if you use this message box, because then it will just automatically go into a database that I can more easily kind of keep track of what I've responded to, what I haven't. So it just saves me a little bit of time, and I think it's a lot easier for people to use. So go to the website, and then you can use that message box to send me suggestions, send me questions, things that you want to see covered in future episodes. My hope is that as I continue to do this podcast, I don't know how long I'll be doing this for, but I'm happy to do this for as long as the church wants me to. So who knows? It could be many, many years of doing this. But the hope is that as we continue to do this, we can build this library out in a way that is easily searchable. You can search by Bible passage, you can search by topic, so that when you're on that read through, you can go and find what you're looking for. So I would encourage you to go to that website, check out the library, and I'll be adding more to it, Lord willing, every single week. Now, one of the difficulties with producing content for the Bible Reading Challenge podcast is that the reading plan has you read so much content so fast, especially when we're doing the whole Bible challenge. Summer, it slows down a little bit, but often by the time I actually get around to answering your question, you're probably already off into another book with a new question. questions. So it's kind of difficult sometimes. I think maybe I'll hit that the next time around because it would be just late in coming by the time I could get to it. So that is why I am doing things like recording an episode on every single chapter in Revelation, because if you're going to keep reading through the Bible Reading Challenge, you're going to read Revelation at least twice a year. So I thought eventually it'd be great to just, you could go, and when you get to Revelation, I think we're going to read it in May, and then probably again at the end of summer, if you do the same page summer challenge with us, you can actually go and listen to all of those episodes in order. There will be a manuscript online. You could easily search for what you're looking for, and it'll be right there for all those future years that you read. So that's the kind of goal that we would like to get to with the website. Eventually, I would like to get ahead of the reading so that if you are, say, in both Isaiah and Matthew at the same time, which we will be in a couple weeks, or maybe even by the time you're listening to this, I could record something that draws out a lot of the connections, the biblical theology between the Old Testament reading and the New Testament reading. So I'd love to eventually get to that point where the episode focuses on whatever you just read that last week, even if it's, you just read all of Genesis or, enormous chunks of scripture. You have to be selective with what you're actually going to give attention to. So it's a really huge project to try to tackle, and something that I'm still trying to think through. How could we do that? And I may start something like that when we restart the challenge in the fall of 2022. And if you have suggestions or ideas, please do message me. I'm always open to hearing, what do you want to hear? What would be helpful to you? Because that's really the whole point of this podcast. We just want to help you understand scripture as you're reading it, and hopefully that will motivate you to keep on reading. Anyways, that's a short update of what I've been up to. Thank you for all of the great feedback you have given me. It's been really encouraging to read and hear. Please do go check out the website, localchristendom.com. Send me your questions there for future episodes. Send me your feedback, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. And until next time, keep on reading.